Girls, Costin here with Mechanicus II, Warhammer 40k, the Necron campaign. So I've done one of the main missions, and we also have some assignments where we can send one of our generals. I think I'm gonna go for the Nemesor, or maybe not really the Nemesor, actually, because let's see what we can do. Okay. We might need to... Alright, so that's one mission where we have one of those generals. Well, it seems that we don't have a choice but to go with one of these. So... Wraiths? Let's go with these guys. So you upgrade using the skill. You can upgrade your general. So the game is certainly forcing me to use... Oh. Okay. Huh. Alright. Well, it would have been nice to have realized that. Damage inflicted. We can't get the middle one, by the looks of it. This unit's melee weapons have... okay. This unit's attacks always inflict. Let's go with those two.
Nevershar's first task, upon rousing Theron Sankotep from the Great Sleep, was to likewise bring his principal advisors from their slumber. These three, known as the Eupatridae, were learned and cunning in the extreme. One among them was Hekemhib, Nemesor of Kivroth's legions, and general of Sankotep's armies.
Vlad, are my Eupatridae awakened? Are they ready to serve?
Hekemhib's tomb is intact, but much of it has risen above the planet's surface. The invaders seek to defile it in search of its secrets. The vermin have built an encampment and are excavating the tomb with their crude machines, even now.
Yes. Vermin. Eradicate them. Bring me the general of my armies.
Alright, so I do prefer to go with extra recruitment capacity for these early missions. Use to upgrade your leaders. Eminence, Living Metal. Let's go with Lich Guard. Alright. So it seems we have two encounters right there. Adeptus Mechanicus. I wonder how many of them there are going to be. Maybe this was the easiest mission and I actually went for the hardest stuff early on.
The invaders had a depraved hunger for knowledge. They scrabbled at the ground as if Kivroth was eager to give up its secrets. Unenlightened as they were, their determination posed a danger to the Nemesor's tomb.
Cut through this pathetic rabble. The Pharaon wills it.
Alright, so how many enemy units are there? Well...
For Gabriel!
Bulwark against this order with implacable resolve. Classic tank archetype.
Let them break their blades against us!
Well, those Lich Guards might end up being useful. Alright, we got a bit of the minion. It would be nice if he counterattacked. Ouch. I'm gonna have to pull this one back. One down. No, can't reach it.
Sticks and stones have minimal effect on living metal bones.
Maybe I shouldn't have gone so aggressively. I mean, it's literally right there, and you can't shoot it. That is just freaking bizarre. Either way.
Let them break their blades against us. For Gabriel! For Gabriel!
Alright, at least he didn't do any real damage there.
The will of the dynasty!
Yeah, just gonna have to shoot at point blank range. And I missed Mechanicus I where he could shoot like halfway across the freaking map. He definitely is a tank though.
For Gabriel!
There we go. A victory.
The entrance to Hekemhib's tomb would open only to the exalted among Kivroth's nobility, but was evidently malfunctioning. It remained closed, even in the face of the Royal Guard.
In the name of the Vargard to the Pharaon, Hand of the Throne, Warden of Kivroth, I demand audience.
At the sound of the Vargard's title, the doors ground open a crack. The Royal Guard was able to widen the gap through sheer force to access the tomb. The Vargard's agents were not the first to enter the tomb since the Great Sleep began. One of the Invaders had made its own entrance, worming through cracks that had opened up in the structure over the eons. It brazenly scrutinized the many artifacts interred alongside Hekemhib.
You dare to enter this place, to plunder it for ill-gotten trinkets.
Then Scavola's hypotheses were well-founded. These hateful Xenos are not dead, but slumbering. And now they awaken, thinking machines of living metal. Anathema to the omnicized design. We must know them, the better to destroy them.
Such hubris, to presume to learn of us. You, who are beneath our very notice.
Very well. I will tear your secrets from your corpses.
Alright, Adeptus Mechanicus pal.
Though inferior to us, this one is armed beyond the means of its underlings. Do not underestimate it, and eliminate it quickly.
to receive the enemy. And readiness. For Gabriel! And readiness. Let them break their blades against us!
Well, that was a tough one.
The sarcophagus chamber and the stasis crypt within was undamaged. It had remained inviolate in spite of the invaders' attempts to breach it.
What crisis demands my awakening? Let it be dire indeed,
for I do not stir but for the gravest tidings.
It is by my will you are awakened. Yes, I have need of you, of my Eupatridae. Announce yourself to me.
My Theron, I am Nemesaur Hekemhib, commander of our dynasty's legions, conqueror of our dynasty's foes. Do you truly not recognize the foremost of your noble servants? Has the Great Sleep caused you such ill?
Nonsense. I recall you well, Nemesaur. Your decisive skill, your firm resolve. I command it all. I command all that I behold. And we are invaded. Yes, hateful primitives infest my planet. You, Nemesaur. You will serve me again. You will drive them from my dominion.
I hear your will, my Theron. And I trust that you guide our dynasty with undiminished wisdom. Our warriors shall march forth and exterminate these lesser creatures. In the name of Sankotep, as in all things.
Alright, so that mission is finished. Took quite a bit of damage.
Report, Cryptek.
As predicted, the pylons were easily reclaimed by your warriors, honored Vargard. The invaders displayed unexpected resilience, but it was of little consequence in the end.
And the weapons themselves.
My technomantic skills were enough to make the pylons responsive to the throne's command protocols once more. They are fully charged and operational.
Good. By Sankotep's will, open fire.
The Gauss Annihilators were the pinnacle of such weapon technologies. With the strength to reach into Kivroth's orbit, their coils thrummed to bursting with energy, and their focusing crystals glowed green hot. The ground shook with their fury. Direct hits, Vargard. The craft was not destroyed, but its orbit is decaying rapidly. It is entering the upper atmosphere.
Then the Pharaon's will has been done.
All right. Well, that was a weird one. So I went in that mission without any kind of, skills. That was not exactly what I had intended right there. Wrong mission. Oh. So we've gained skill points for, all of them.
Adherents of the Destroyer Creed are anathema to all non-deviant Necrons. Yet, Sankotep tolerated their nihilistic madness to use them as weapons and enforce his rule. Their master, Ukhensep, was of the Eupatridae, and would be necessary for the destroyers to accept the Pharaon's command.
I am told Ukhensep's tomb has not yet been uncovered by the invaders. She slumbers still, and must be awoken. This task I grant to you, Vargard.
It shall be done, my Pharaon. The Nihilarch's host are known to not cleave to the will of their superiors. The task is complex.
They will obey their Pharaon. But until such time as Ukhensep is by my side, the adherents to the Destroyer Creed may need more forceful persuasion to accept the authority of a Vargard. I trust that will not be a significant obstacle, Nefershah.
I know well the caprice of the Destroyers. They will be brought to heel.
Okay, so he only has, well, he does have 3 Necron warriors. Okay, launch the mission. And let's see what we got to deal with over here. Oh, this one's gonna be interesting.
The forbidding entrance to Ukhensep's tomb was untouched by the invader, and indeed seemed untouched by any save time.
Open in the name of Vargard Nefershah, Hand of the Pharaon. It will not open. No great surprise. The Destroyers, in their madness, eschew the appropriate protocols. We must make our own way through.
Searching around the parts of the tomb above the surface, an area of weakness was identified where seismic activity had partially collapsed an outer wall. The Vargard's force removed rubble and widened the breach until they were able to gain entrance. The adherents to the Destroyer Creed were already awake, though Ukhensep herself still slumbered. In the darkness of the tomb, they confronted the agents of the Vargard. The Destroyers gave no sign of deference to the Vargard's rightful commands. The emblematic pathways of their minds twisted, lost in waves of nihilistic madness.
If you intend to prove a point by sacrificing yourselves before accepting my authority, then such a gesture is no more than a waste of the materials of which you are constructed.
The Destroyers were still unmoving, but hyperphase fields and Gauss coils whined with growing energy as the Royal Guard attained firing positions.
Such a tiresome game of power this is, when there is but one power on Kivaroth. To stand in the way of the Pharaon's command is to beg for execution.
All right, then. Well, Necron against Necrons. So let's find out what the Destroyer Cult has on offer.
These outcasts know nothing but their madness. If they choose to stand in our way, they shall be annihilated.
There is that. Well, I gotta think about this one. Okay, so I'm going to deploy right there. Blade 1. A Wraith on each side. So 2 Necron warriors, there's my army. Alright, command protocols. It would be nice to know the exact range that I would be working with. Alright, wait with that.
Seeking the foe. Seeking the foe.
Okay. Shit.
Blades bared. Knowledge is the ultimate weapon, but a blade to the throat is a close second. Bring me the foe.
He's gone.
I trust this needless waste has demonstrated our worthiness to enter the inner tomb. Continue and locate Ukhensep's sarcophagus chamber.
Passageways leading to the inner part of the tomb formed a gauntlet of deadly traps. They were symbolic of the Destroyer's hatred of all life. But the material danger they posed was very real.
There is no need to incur further losses reaching Ukhensep. We will dismantle or avoid these countermeasures, and in doing so, remind the destroyers they stand below the throne of the Pharaon.
Okay.
Never shy the units solving each puzzle. And the Royal Guard rapidly progressed without a single Necron compacted into hyperdense matter by the tomb defenses. Indeed, the intricacy of each problem served to improve the Royal Guard's networking cohesion.
Alright. Final bow, I suppose.
The destroyers are not alone in this region of the tomb. Its warrior phalanxes are also awakening. We cannot assume they remain unaffected by the destroyers' madness. Fight through them before they can demonstrate their wayward loyalties.
That's gonna be a problem. Okay.
Blade
So I just need
bared.
to get her to that other side. Hold on, let's give her last strike.
Scythe them down!
Run away. One down. Alright, try and take down that Necron warrior right there. Oh, he survived.
Bring me the foe. Seeking the foe.
It doesn't matter if I lose everything here. As long as she survives and gets to the objective. Holy shit.
I am the Wrath.
Victory.
The Royal Guard had reached the threshold of Ukhensep's sarcophagus chamber. As the Royal Guard entered the chamber, Ukhensep's stasis crypt opened, and the Nyarlark emerged.
Not a pleasant sight.
Who disturbs my rest? Such visions I had. Worlds laid barren, the earth scorched of life, the stars themselves dying at our hand. Now I awake into the foulness of a galaxy not yet dead. Nyarlark Ukhensep, the Royal Guard has come to summon you to the court of Sankotep, Master of Kivroth. We are to heed the word of a Varguard, the attack dog of the Pharaon, the most beloved pet fawning at the foot of his throne. We will not be summoned like underlings to grovel at court. You enter my tomb as intruders in a sovereign realm, not as emissaries to whom we owe deference.
Elon's in stasis had done little to temper Ukhensep's brutality or reinforce her proper loyalties. She advanced on the Royal Guard, clearly willing to destroy the Pharaon's emissaries to satisfy her pride as Nyarlark of Kivroth's destroyers.
Stay your wrath, Nyarlark. Kivroth is invaded. Interlopers infest our world. Invaders? A rival dynasty? Or some manner of alien filth? Human. A new and verminous biological species, daring to seize our world as their own. Acknowledge your Pharaon's authority, attend to him, and eradicate this scourge from our world. Repulsive. The very thought of such hateful, festering flesh. It must be scoured, severed, reduced to sterile dust. If my destroyers will have their rightful voice at Sankotep's court, and we may revel in the extermination of this teeming growth, then I deign to take my place beside the throne.
Thus did Ukhensep, last of the Eupatridae, affirm her allegiance. Sankotep's court was restored for war. Though even at this early juncture, Nevershah could barely conceal her misgivings at the state of her master's retinue.
Alright. So we got 2 Eminence, we got Dynastic Awakening, +1, Living Metal 15. That was not an easy mission.
Aliens have dared set foot upon Kivroth. This world of Kivroth, the seat of my dynasty. It is infested. Your duty is clear. Drive the invaders from my domain and reclaim what they have defiled.
Our legions are responding to the protocols of awakening. They gather ready to march.
My destroyers pledge their strength. The invaders are unclean organic vermin who demand annihilation. They will all be ash before we relent.
My archives stir, and the catalogues of oblivion reopen. Soon, your cryptex shall once more construct weapons of wondrous power to aid the eradication of these interlopers.
My dynasty heeds its Pharaon's call. This is as it should be. A lord must rule, must gather his subjects. He must issue his pronouncements. But how is a war to be waged?
I would once record every facet of conquest and siege, but now such mastery eludes me.
A fleeting symptom of the Great Sleep, my Pharaon. With but a little time, I am certain all will return to you. A petty settlement serves the invaders as their would-be capital. They name it Exveritas.
A city, a capital, a symbol, yes. Break the stronghold, break the spirit. This I remember. My subjects, ready to march on this Exveritas.
The Theron's mind is addled. The Great Sleep has robbed him of his memories and wits. It shames the dynasty. Our command protocols should flow from a monarch worthy to wield them.
Many unfortunate events happen in war. Even a pharaoh might fall to the enemy if circumstances permit. If he is made vulnerable by a faltering mind, it becomes all but inevitable.
With his destruction, we would take charge. Destroy the filth. Sterilize Kivroth.
It would be our duty. Not for ourselves, but for the dynasty. An unfit monarch, making way for his finest commanders. To rule, to rebuild, to conquer, for Kivroth.
Well, well, well. I'm guessing I understand how this is gonna play out. So we are literally just going to attack their capital. Okay. I mean, it seems like we're... Okay. Seems like a bad idea if you ask me. But what do I know, right? Okay, we got death marks, immortals. We've upgraded what we could upgrade. We can give him the amulet. Yeah, let's give him that HP. Removes all statuses. So be it. Well, Kostin signing out. Stay tuned for more. The Necron scheme. Nice.